There we go.
This is so invasive.
Go right ahead right there if you want. You can sit front, you can sit in the middle, you can sit wherever you want.
What's in the front?
If you want the big splashes, sit up front. If you want a little bit less splash, sit in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, your legs are shorter than mine, so.
Hey, there we go.
What up there? Wait, where do you sit?
I don't know.
I sit
Well,
right
then
there on
I'll
the
get the
cooler.
big splashes.
Oh, okay.
I wish it was filled with beverages. It's not, sadly. I really wish it was.
To like,
Looks like it.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
My name is Corbin. Corbin.
Okay.
You guys can call me anything. Cobalt, Carbon, Corbin, Corvin.
I like
Just don't
Carbon.
call me late for dinner, honestly.
Oh,
I've been
no,
called
no.
called so many things on the river, you kind of just respond to anything with a C.
After all this work, I'd never call you late for dinner.
Oh, don't worry. I am looking forward to dinner at home.
How many of these do you do a day?
This is the third tour of the day. I only had to do 2. The first tour of the day, I was driving the shuttle truck with all the gear inside. So I did get a nice, easy start to the day, and hopefully we'll be able to finish out with a nice little end of the day tour with you guys. Typically, I've got a full boat of 10 people. I've got 3 to 4 groups on it, but I've got just you guys, so we're just gonna chill the whole way down the river. It's gonna be great.
How many years have you been doing this?
This is my first season, actually. My first year up here in Alaska. I'm from Wisconsin myself.
Oh, nice.
And I've been loving it up here. Wisconsin looks a lot just like any of the pine trees around. If you look into the tree row, that's what Wisconsin looks like. Just that and cornfields, and this has been incredible out here to be able to get a little ways out. It will be the best view to get a picture of the glacier. We are just lucky enough with the cloud cover today that you can still see it. There's a lot of days you come out here and it's just a lake in clouds. So we are pretty lucky today. If you guys do look at the glacier, the giant, the great blue, of course, that is the Mendenhall Glacier. And also this is the Mendenhall Lake, and the Mendenhall River is what we're heading across to. That glacier has been there since the Ice Age. It's been there since, and it melts at about a rate of about 1 inch a day. As it recedes, you guys can see all the sides of the rock to the right, to the left, where it's totally barren. As the glacier recedes at that 1 inch a day, it grinds all up against it. It gets knocked off a whole bunch of dust, and that's all the color that you guys see in the lake and the river today. All the dust and all the color, that's all from the mountain right there being grinded away by the glacier. This lake is only fed by glacial melt and snow melt, so if you guys do want to reach over and touch it, you can, but the water is 35 degrees, and it is every degree of 35 and not a single one more. It's about as close as it gets to be to freezing without actually freezing. And we occasionally take dips in it on the really hot days, but we can only stay in for 45 seconds or a minute before you get too cold. There are days the sun will try to heat up the glacier, and it doesn't do so great, so a whole bunch of cold air sits on top of the glacier, and then it all sinks beneath the other warmer air, so it all rushes to the bottom of this lake, creates what's called katabatic winds, and they can get going up to 30 miles an hour. And I am literally facing towards the shore, completely away from the glacier, fighting the wind. And I tell my guests that I can't even talk to them till the river because I'm just breathing to try and row all the way across. So these cloudy days are always a blessing when there's no wind coming off the glacier because the sun doesn't try to heat it up. You guys can also see that peninsula right there in front of the glacier, kind of coming down in front of it. The glacier did used to cover that and most of this lake, and this lake does get almost 200 to 300 feet deep because the glacier did totally was in this part. And it went all the way down and carved out the lake bed. And as the glacier recedes off of the rocks, it takes roughly 300 years for all the trees in the jungle to come back. And it is a jungle because Juneau is in the middle of a temperate rainforest. It does snow and rain here all year. It rains all year round, sometimes just a little bit like this, where it's just the very finest of mist. You can barely tell it's raining. There'll be other days that it'll downpour sun up to sun down, and it'll keep downpouring into the next day. Here at the lake, they get almost 200 inches of snow and roughly the same amount of rain. And downtown, closer to downtown near the ocean, they get about 100 inches of snow every year, but it gets pretty crazy out here. So as we float today, this entire area that we're in right now is all protected through the Tungus National Rainforest, and it is the largest amount of rainforest that America has. Even though it's all pine tree, it throws me off too. So this is all the largest rainforest that America has here. It all comes from off the coast of Alaska, stretches just a little bit down into Canada, and it's all kept pretty warm by the warm water current that comes up from California. That comes up here at roughly, or it only gets as cold as 0 to 10 degrees here in the winter, but it does snow every day, and it will snow. It will snow at 100 to 150 inches for the locals here. So it can get pretty crazy. Looks like we get to be the sweet boat today. Last boat out gets to be the last one down the rapids. It's your job to not get stuck and to make sure everyone else made their way out of the rapids so no one gets left behind. So we get to be the head man today. So that's always a fun feeling.
Well, it makes sense too if we have other people in the boat.
Exactly. We got the best chance. We can bring people on. It'll work out just perfectly. Hopefully we don't have to do any life-saving skills, but that would be an interesting change.
We have a couple lifeguards up front here, but
Oh, really? Cool,
All
cool.
three of them are certified.
yes.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh,
All
they're
right.
actually working,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I won't have to worry about you guys if you fall in. Cool, cool.
But the wild is a little different than the pool.
Ice boat,
The
absolutely.
rapids are very different than they're used to.
Oh, definitely.
But they at least know what they need to do to protect themselves.
Oh, for sure. You guys will be totally fine. We'll be going through the rapids and we're gonna have a great time.
And then they just have to take their own walks.
Yeah.
Oh, not a problem. You guys are sitting in the back, you'll be set. You guys just hold on. Fun fact about Juneau
Yeah.
is that you cannot drive out of Juneau. All these mountains completely encase this area, and they even knew that you wouldn't be able to get over this place by horse in the 1880s when they made it the capital. So they knew what they were getting into, and they haven't done anything about it. So you can't drive out of Juneau, you can only boat or plane in. So it creates a whole bunch of real interesting, not like problems, but just like dilemmas
Oh
almost.
yes, building supplies and everything else.
Everything gets ferried or flown in, so it gets kind of crazy. Like sometimes the stores will be out of milk, and it kind of angers the inner Wisconsin in me. So you need milk every day. Even while we're on the subject, there are some icebergs around. I don't see any at the moment. But we do take all the icebergs. Sometimes I'll have my guests go ahead and grab them right out of the water, or if they wash up on the beach. I've got glacier in my freezer, and I do make mixed drinks out of the glacier ice.
So I'm guessing you're like an outdoors type of guy.
Do love it. I do love the outdoors. I was in the Boy Scouts, and I am an Eagle Scout, and all I did throughout Boy Scouts was all I wanted to do was the camping. I wanted to get out and do camping. So that's what I came out here to do. I wanted to, not the camping, but get out there and go do it.
Yeah.
And we have a saying that it's always a good day on the river, and it certainly always is. You guys do want to grab a picture of the glacier. This is about the best spot to do it here in the middle of the lake. We'll be behind the trees, and the cloud cover may actually cover it up later on. So this will be about your best opportunity.
Turn around, we need a picture in front of a glacier.
Oh, don't worry. Tell you what,
Oh,
I'll even flip it around for you guys, if you want. Oh, I see.
we're doing a scavenger hunt and I'm like obsessive about it. There you go. Can I like, where'd it go? Where'd the glacier go?
I'll flip it around just a little more.
Yeah, sorry, I'm being a pain right now.
There you go.
Linda, we need you in
No,
here.
that's okay. I'm
Why?
here for the experience.
Perfect.
They don't know I'm part of your group.
No, but even just for fun.
What kind of scavenger hunt are you guys doing? Is it like through the cruise?
Yeah, how the cruise
Oh.
gave us a piece of paper which had like 800 things on it.
Oh my gosh.
Not quite,
Not
but
800.
What kind of things is it having you guys do? Is it stuff on the boat, or is it stuff to do off the boat?
Anywhere, like there's
Oh.
A rainbow,
State
a
bird,
person with a
yeah,
sweater,
state motto.
Oh,
a
okay.
bear, a
state flowers.
Do you need
rat.
Arctic terns at all? there are Arctic terns up there flying above us. No bald eagles. We may see them on the river today. We are competing with the hatchery. If you guys have a burning desire to see bald eagles, you guys should walk to the hatchery. It is about 10 minutes from the cruise ship, and the salmon are running to the hatchery. They remember the exact bank that they were born in. So all the hatchery has to do is just hatch the fish and then literally release them. And then in 3 to 5 years, the salmon remember the exact place they were born and they return. The salmon run all the way from the ocean up the river to this lake. They spawn in some streams around the peninsula to our left. Is that it does make a 3-point turn. They go up there and spawn, and we will go to Montana Creek where we also see the salmon doing a whole bunch of spawning. The state flower is forget-me-nots, and in Montana Creek we will see a whole bunch of forget-me-nots on the shore. We're gonna get like a whole bunch of stuff crossed off your list right there in Montana Creek. I like the little like side quest adventure almost. I'm kind of with it. I haven't had anyone get on and be like, I'm trying to do the scavenger hunt. So
I know, I don't know if my kids think that I'm annoying at this point.
No, you're crazy.
Oh, we've gone past annoying.
I have state for, a blueberry, alpine blueberry.
A blueberry.
No, that weird bird. I've seen salmon. Oh, the flag is up. Your gem is big. Dragonfly.
There's a small chance we see a dragonfly. And they are around. You gotta get lucky. Ah, there are no moose in these parts. They don't like the rainforest. No dog mushroom. I don't know if that's this spruce just kind of everywhere. But perhaps you can take a picture and say that I said it. Say that I said it was Sitka spruce, and that will count. Yeah, get a whole bunch of pictures of just get the whole mountain. There's a Sitka spruce somewhere in there.
Right there. Can you see it?
Exactly. I can see it. You guys can't see it. Do you need a beaver or a beaver dam? There is a beaver dam. We haven't seen the beaver in a while.
No, it says beaver.
Oh, I can't lie to you.
I'll take a dam. Maybe they'll like.
Okay, we haven't seen the beaver in like a while, so we're kind of a little sad about that. But we will float right next to a beaver dam. Actually, I'll tell you guys about that before we get to the rest of the moon quest. That mountain that's just disappearing behind the trees to the left, there is another glacier behind it called Suicide Basin. It is hanging. It is a hanging glacier, so it doesn't touch any water. And every year it experiences a phenomenon called the Yuckalop. It's an Icelandic term. It starts with a silent J and an O with an umlauts, and I don't know how to spell it past that. But as the glacier melts, it gets much deeper in the middle, and it will all the weight of that water as it melts will bust out the bottom of that glacier, come rushing down. That waterfall will increase by almost 4 times in volume, and the rest of the water will all rush from beneath the Mendenhall Glacier, fill the lake, and completely flood it by almost 10 to 12 feet at once a year. That did just happen just about a week ago, and the water is finally back down to its normal level. The river was up to almost 11, 12 feet at its very, very peak. So this place was completely flooded, it was raging across. Thankfully this year none of those houses got flooded, but I know that they definitely have in the past gotten very flooded. It's adult Disneyland, I always say.
Some people have no appreciation for it.
I agree. Coming out here and you gotta reconnect with it. Those are actual houses. The houses to the on the right, the two, those are Airbnbs. The houses on the left, there will be another one that pops out. Those are permanent residents. Typically, the lake, if anything, is more of the marathon, and the rapids are more of the sprint. We will be getting to some class 2 and 3 rapids today, which will be a whole bunch of fun. Your beaver dam will be coming up directly in front of the boat right there, those pile of sticks. That is the beaver dam.
Did you see the beaver in there?
There could have been a beaver in there. Sorry. Oh, do you have old man's beard on your list?
What is old man?
It's all this green little stuff hanging out of the trees. It is almost like a fungus, and it is kind of related to moss.
Oh.
It will eventually choke the tree out, but up until that point, it kind of just grows there, hangs in the wind like an old man's beard.
Oh. No, I didn't.
Did not have a good tour for
I
her.
see an eagle.
Oh yeah.
That is a bald eagle right there in front of us.
That's like the 5th one I've seen.
Oh yeah, I can't see it. I can't even see. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. I couldn't quite I'm gonna be honest. I was playing the game in my head. I was like, "Where are you guys from?" I wanted to know, but I wanted to try and have a guess before I asked.
But where in Canada?
But where in Canada? I'm going to guess not Vancouver because it seems like everyone is from Vancouver. But I'm going to guess maybe right from Victoria. Oh.
Further.
My only guess after that would be Winnipeg.
Further.
I don't even know where that is.
It's like the best place in Canada.
Oh, are you guys from Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay, all right.
The part of Canada that's like least Canadian.
That's
It's
really,
like,
real
yeah.
far down. You guys are close to me. My state is pretty much just below Toronto. Very cool, because you guys are above Lake Superior, right?
Well, no, we're actually below it. We're across the lake from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, that's right.
We're just
Okay, you guys
across
are
the lake.
shifted over. Well, I'm a little left of you guys.
Yeah, I think you're further north than us.
Oh, no kidding. Just fine. Honestly, I'm there with you guys. I'm there with you guys. Awesome. We got plenty to celebrate today, man. So cool, cool. Oh, thank you. Oh, not a, this is just the precursor to the rapids. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe not hot.
We haven't turned the bubbles on yet. Oh, that was actually pretty good. I do always ask every boat. You guys don't have much of an option on not getting splashed, but if you guys do want big splashes, we can go look for big splashes. I don't worry, I don't often get an enthusiastic answer for that, but if I do get boats that want to get really big and splashed, I do always ask. I've had a couple of boats want to go so crazy the people in the back want to get wet, and there's a couple of parts in the rapids you can go backwards, and I'll take the back row down backwards first.
Oh,
And they'll be looking backwards like, oh, it's always awesome.
Anybody want to get wet?
No.
We don't listen to Rachel.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Water.
Yeah, I don't really want to hear Rachel complain on the way home, so or on the way
Sounds
back to the
good.
boat. So
I will miss all of the class 3 rapids, don't worry.
We'll make her
I'm
sit in
fine
front
with
then.
it.
She doesn't have to.
Maybe once.
We will get some good rides and some splashes, but they are just some really gnarly splashes that you can hit if the boat asks and the boat wants.
You have rain gear on. You shouldn't get wet.
I'm fine with it.
All right.
Whatever
You
happens.
can go sit in the hot tub when you get back, or have a nice
That's-
hot shower.
Yeah. A nice hot shower.
And a full
yo, nice hot tub.
Okay, sure.
That sounds
Don't
great.
use the plans right after. Hot tub or pool? Pool is literally a hot tub.
Well, there's another bald eagle if you want to get your photo. Bald eagle right there. You might go and land on one of these trees, hopefully. There's gonna come in that clearing right there. Ooh, that was cool. I hope you got one of them. Good, perfect. Thank you, thank you. It is all, I can't lie, exceptionally easy with half the people in the boat.
Oh, yeah.
It is usually a lot, like that little spin would have taken 2 rows. Like we're looking to go do that.
because
Don't
when the
worry.
boat's heavier, it's harder to go.
Oh, absolutely. It's way more it's way sitting deeper in the water and it's harder to maneuver. With this, we're looking great right now.
Well, I'm glad we can accommodate you.
Oh, not a problem.
I'm actually pretty excited that we got a fun tour. So.
Yeah, honestly, these are some of the best tours. I put them right up there with the rowdy elderly people that come on your boat. They just no, in a great way. In a great way. Good.
Like,
I
all
saw.
for that rowdy elderly.
They get on and they really are also celebrating life.
They're living their best life, they're enjoying it.
Oh my gosh, I've taken the elderly people backwards down the rapids the most. The back row come up and be like, hey son, you said I was gonna get splashed back there. I was like, oh, we will. I'll flip it around for you. What? Oh, I had so many troublemakers, I kicked them all off.
Understandable. I'm starting to think the same way about some people. In this
All right, hey, just get it over with, man. Don't even let them know it's coming.
The boss said bring back the life jackets.
Oh,
That matters.
man, the back row had 4 people. I just gave them a quick bet.
Yeah, understandable. As long as you got the life jacket.
Oh, don't worry, they're back there. Oh man, you got an even lighter boat, man. He's lucky. No wonder he was able to catch me like nothing. Alright. Yeah! He's yee-hawing before he even gets to the rapids. But we'll get to see that boat over there. We'll see if they make the route, and we'll get to see if Wyatt makes the route. And then it's our turn. So I always tell the people, get ready for me to exit the rapids, or enter the rapids, exit the bridge. Totally left side on, and then after that we're in Pinball Alley. Oh, please do, please do. I scream and woohoo right along with everyone. Don't worry, don't worry. Like Dylan, in fact, gets to be the sweet boat. Okay. Get my setup just right. Real nice calm eddy that you can kind of land your boat in, slows you right down, you work left like it's not even hard. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Big splash on the left. All right. Made it left without even a struggle. All right. Right there in front, that's Whale's Tail. This is the route we take at high water. It looks like a whale sitting right there with the tail behind him. Whale's Tail right there. Alright. If you try to make Whale's Tail and you try to slip it in right behind here, it goes so poorly, you will get stuck right in there. So if you're trying to make Whale's Tail, you gotta make Whale's Tail or you will get stuck. It's always a fun little daily game you play. Or you don't. There is not. It is very black and white. All right. Come to this rock, scissor around. Little bump. Go around low. All right. Thank you. These are all class 2s. You will see some of the bigger splashes down there. Those are for class 3s. Made it, no problem. All right. That's one of the most technical parts, getting through without getting stuck or a bump. All right. All right, Trent, good luck. Whoa, 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 don't tell them that. They got no idea. They got no idea it's coming. It was all jokes. I promise not to actually swamp you guys. Don't worry, don't worry.
Are there big ones down there?
There are some bigger ones. You can't really hit them. Oh, Dalton got a good one. He went right over some of the big splashes. There are some pretty good ones coming up.
Let's go through them.
We will. All right, let's do it.
Big one.
All right.
We didn't pay for nothing.
Yeah! Oh yeah! All right. Hey, I'll follow you. Yep. Just go ahead. We're gonna get a little bit of distance from him. He was the last boat, and then we'll just go ahead and follow him in a second here. All right. The current kind of suck us in. Okay. We got another fun one. Gentry's and Scott's rocks. Aren't so much of a big splash, but they're a little technical. The two in the middle, those two shallow ones, are Scott's rocks. Any rock here with a person's name, that's from a guide in seasons past that have flipped their raft on those rocks. So we always make sure we get a real nice approach on this one, and then we empty out to the rest of the rapids.
So I'm guessing if you flip the raft, the boss probably doesn't really like it too much, does he?
Not so much. Scott flipped the one on the first rock,
Yeah.
and Scott flipped the one on the second rock. Scott no longer works at the company. Oh, right past it without even a problem. It looks like, oh, big bump, I totally lied. Big bump, big bump. I got too cocky. I think we'll get past it without a problem. All right, after that, we'll get to what we call triple threat. We call it triple threat for the three big waves it makes. Oh, you want a good bald eagle picture? Right there on the rock. Right on the river,
yeah.
the bald eagle right there on the river. Right on the river, right where my oar is pointing. Wow. I promise you he's real. Oh. I'll leave it left side on as long as it's on.
Wow, that's really cool.
Here we go! Woo! Woohoo! Yeah! All right. Go ahead, Mr. Rockwall. All right, we got these last rapids right here. We got a real good one right here. Woo-hoo! Whoa! All right. Okay. Oh, sorry. Woo-hoo! And we made it out. Okay, perfect. Those are apartments right there. Those people are lucky enough to get to live right here by all the running water. I would sleep so well if I could always hear the river. I would sleep so good. It'd be better than the rain.
Yeah. We're all talking about how
Woo. Oh, good flag. Oh. Say again?
we were talking about how good it is floating on the ship.
Oh.
Moving in the water.
Yeah, those boats don't even rock, do they? They're probably pretty flat in the water.
They move a bit, not like this one.
Oh, this one gets pretty rough. So this lady right here in front of us with the fence, she has like 8 or 9 pugs, and her yard did totally fall in the water. And I do always say this is the only naturally growing astroturf in Alaska. If you guys want a photo, you better take it because you'll never see it again.
I saw the
Is that on your list? Now that we are in the lower river part, I'll point out real early, everything and right in front of us on this shore, you can see all the moss and dirt is caved away and all this green stuff is down. That's all brand new from the flooding just last week. So everything green, leaning, and or in the water, that is all going to be brand new destruction from all the flooding this year.
How high did the water go? All the way up that bank?
Totally up and flooded that entire area. This is still the Tungus National Rainforest right there in front of us. And the residential area is to our left, and that's where the real animals live, the real Alaskan bush people. I always got you an awesome eagle photo for your scavenger hunt. That was awesome. And that eagle will sit there and wait for the salmon to run until there are salmon actually running. They'll sit there and wait and wait and wait. Oh yeah, they'll grab the fish, they'll spear the fish with the beaks. If you guys do go to the hatchery, I did actually get to see eagle pull a fish out of the water and everything. Are you guys kind of cool with like a little like graphic story almost?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. We just as our car was leaving, an eagle came flying over, and it literally like got attacked by another eagle as it was carrying a salmon head, and it just dropped the salmon head right in front of our car, and like the salmon head was just like cut off and like looking at us, and 3 eagles all swooped down. We just pulled our cameras out just in time, and we were like, oh my gosh, like, because this eagle got attacked and he just dropped his load, so he just dropped that whole salmon head like 5-10 feet in front of our car. Wow. It was insane. It was craziness. We were in the car, we were like in the video, we were just like WTF, and like just like we're like laughing so hard. They're huge. They're almost 1.5 feet, and they're pretty heavy. They can get almost 20 pounds.
When I was here 20 years ago, I don't remember where we were, but we took a boat and did a fishing trip.
Okay.
And it was on a Chilcoot Lake or something like that.
Oh, the chill cat?
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm not sure. But there was salmon spawning.
No way.
Near the shore. We were in the middle of the lake fishing. We were catching Dolly Gardens or something.
Yeah, okay.
And when you take it off the hook and throw it back in, the eagle came down and grabbed it.
No way. That's so cool.
It was actually really cool.
I haven't seen a... What were you saying?
On the same trip, on the same boat, with
Oh
the
my
salmon
God.
on the shore, a bear was in frolicking trying to catch the salmon.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
was amazing. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of that yet, and I really hope I do before the season is over.
It was really fun.
That... Oh, I'm jealous. I only saw the eagle like pluck one out of the water with his beak. He didn't like swoop down out of the sky and pick it up. Although that would be cool to see. As we come to this section of the river, this shore in front of us was completely eroding away a long time ago. So in the 1960s and early 70s, the Alaskan government decided to start putting cars right there in the shore. So if you guys look directly in front of the boat, there are 2 cars right there in the river. There are almost 20 to 30 cars all buried in this bank right here, and it did hold on just fine. It's been there pretty much about that level since they put the cars in there in the 60s.
Wow, that's crazy.
There is another one directly in front of us now to the left of that drainage ditch, and there are a few that you'll be able to see poking out. Bald eagle again. There is also an engine, an entire engine and transmission sitting right where my oar is pointing, right to our 2 o'clock. We get carried right by the current right past it right here in front of us. All right. Perfect. Now that we are on the lower river, we shouldn't see any more whitecaps the rest of the trip. This is the much more calm, relaxing kind of part. We got about roughly another 35 minutes for the rest of this river float. If you guys got any questions at all about my job, about Alaska, downtown, the cruises, I offer life and relationship advice. I wouldn't take it. But if you guys have any questions at any time, I would ask them. This is the time to do it. While we're sitting here chilling down the lower river.
Well, thanks for throwing that out there, but I don't think we've held back to now.
Oh, don't worry.
We didn't wait for the invitation.
Yeah, right.
No worries. Your guys' questions so far have been really good. So I've been loving it. Hopefully though we get to see salmon. I keep thinking about. I've been waiting for the salmon to run the whole time I've been here, and now it's literally finally happening. I'm so excited for it. I can't.
Well, it's amazing though that they know where they were.
Oh, they remember the exact. They probably remember the exact like spot on the riverbank.
Is
Like-
that why they like swim back like don't they swim against the current?
Oh, totally. When they're
Go
born,
back to-
when they were first born, they get washed out to ocean, and then they spend their 3 to 5 years out there. They spend their life cycle, and then right at the end, when they're ready to spawn, they swim all the way up current. They do the salmon instinctively jump. So anytime they find a barrier, they just start jumping and they make their way upriver. And they do their very hardest to make it because they know that they're also right at the end of what their whole purpose is. So they're doing everything they can to get there.
Will they die after that?
About like literally within a week later, they just die. The fresh water isn't so great for them, and they kind of naturally die out. Right here in front of us, you can see these trees are still clumped onto a whole bunch of dirt. They slid right down the shore from all the flooding. Same also with the trees right in front of us. They were connected up there. All the dirt got underwashed and undercaved in, and it just slid right down the shore when all the flooding happened.
Oh yeah, you can tell it's new because they're all green stuff.
Exactly, yeah. They were not like that before the flooding, and all of a sudden we came down the river. We were like, oh,
What the heck?
interesting. So it must have been a little spot up there like that and all got washed in.
Yes.
Actually, looks like that did too. I didn't even notice that was like that.
And when does the season end?
The season ends at the end of October. When the lake freezes over in winter, this river will almost completely dry up. And as the level of the lake drops below the mouth of the river when it freezes. So you could almost walk across the river in most places in the winter and not even get wet. Right up here is where you get about the hardest smash against the shore. So you guys can see all the trees knocked in. All of the shore is almost like vertically cut away. And this is the part where it smashes up against here the hardest. This year we got super lucky. There's a crow right there to our left. This year we got super lucky. All of the trees that you guys see already down against the shore, those were all like pretty much right where we are. And we had to snake through here, and you'd often get stuck and caught up in here. They're tearing at something. I don't know what it is. Oh, no kidding.
I think he's fishing. He's wobbling right now.
They might have been out here and enjoying the nice weather.
Drinking. Oh, it's a dog.
Oh, and a dog.
Look, I just pulled up the map over there.
So many locals here have dogs.
River.
I can't lie, I forgot the question that I was answering. I know I was talking to someone about something, but no worries otherwise. I kind of saw the dog and I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm going to be totally honest.
Dogs do that to people. Don't worry about it.
I miss my dog at home, I do.
Oh yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have just a tiny little Jack Russell Terrier, but she thinks that she... Woo, little bump that you can't even see that.
No.
You can see the wave from it. Hello! You guys have a really, really cute dog.
Thank you very much.
Awesome
He
dog.
really wants to come out and see you guys, but he doesn't like how cold the water
Yeah. Looks like a very happy dog. Hopefully we will see more dogs. It seems everyone here in Juneau has a dog.
That's something that you could cover. What do you mean? No, I pulled up the map of like a Google map.
Oh, do you have fireweed on your list? Fireweed.
No?
It's a flower. Promise it's a
Okay.
flower. It's
I
not.
was gonna say, are we smoking weed
No,
today,
no, no.
buddy?
It's not. It's not weed. Don't worry. It is actually legal in Alaska, but that is beside the. It is illegal in Alaska. I know it's legal.
Oh,
It is legal.
Oh, okay. Wait, so I'm home too.
So fireweed is that purple plant coming up on the shore right there.
Okay.
Throughout the summer, it is this really nice deep purple, and it does get deeper throughout the summer.